Another residential area hit last night in besieged Aleppo. Warily and slowly, survivors gather to see if they can help those injured. But moments later, the jets return, and they are caught up in the terror. Incredibly, they survived. And the relentless bombardment continues into the day. The Syrian government, supported by their Russian allies, continue their bombing of the built-up areas of Aleppo. The rebel-held east of the city is bearing the brunt of the bombardment, and there are 300,000 civilians trapped there. "Where is my son?" screams this man, as the few rescuers remaining in Aleppo help to dig the young boy out. He didn't survive. The plight of people here is desperate. Civilians in Aleppo are trying anything to hamper the airstrikes, burning tires and even their clothes to create black smoke. Abdul Kafi lives in besieged eastern Aleppo.
People, all civilians in Aleppo, burnt car wheels to make black clouds to cover this area from the planes, because they are targeting all the places here in the free part of Aleppo.
It's a futile gesture, as warplanes use sophisticated GPS systems for targeting, but it's a measure of the hopelessness people have been reduced to.
They want to do anything to protect themselves from the warplanes of Assad regime, from the targets of Assad regime.
Syrian rebel groups, including some who until recently were allied with Al-Qaeda, have begun a ferocious offensive to try to break through government lines encircling eastern Aleppo. And they have heavy weaponry too, which they seem to use without much concern for civilian casualties. In the midst of all this, all the talk of humanitarian corridors to allow civilians to leave seems unlikely in the extreme. The Syrian government released this footage, which they argue shows people being allowed to leave, but the UN has described it as being wholly inadequate, calling for greater access to relieve a city in such suffering. Ragioma, News at 10.